everybody, Jeff Collins here from Idea Alliance, and in today's video we're going to show you how simple and easy it is to verify whether or not your print condition on your press or your printer is accurately targeting Grackle 2013 color space. Okay, so I'll explain what Grackle 2013 is. I'll also explain what color space is. These are tolerances and targets that we aim for when we dial a press or multiple presses to G7 and to a specific data set called ISO 15339 CRPC6. And very simple, we're going to use curve, and it's very easy to determine whether or not your press is in line and dialed in very accurately to these current standards and specifications in print manufacturing.
I'm going to go ahead and launch Curve 4. And then I'll open up a recent session. And so this is the window that comes up when you first launch Curve. Already I have a few verification runs populated here on the left side of the screen. And currently I have no measurement data in any of these. Okay. To create a new session, for instance, I'm going to make a new session or new verification for a Xerox 800 on a coated sheet. So you can see there I have the Xerox 800, and then I'm targeting G7 color space Grackle 2016. So the specification or the bullseye I'm shooting for is Grackle 2006, and how tight I want to verify or how accurate I want my tolerances. I'm using the most accurate of the tolerance sets, which is G7 color space. And I'm going to simply take my measurement file from a TC1617, which you see here, TC1617, Xerox 800. I'm going to drag that over and just dump that right into the measurement window. And there you have it. I'm a pass G7 color space. My color aim is Grackle 2006. And there's some additional data here in this window. And of course, I can see an easy visual display or dashboard, if you will, of all the key metrics from that press run. So the next is a Manroland 700, and this is a offset press, and I'm just starting a G7 calibration. So the press is currently not aligned to G7 neutral print density aims. So we're going to run a linear plate, as you can see here. So it's a set of plates, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. They're linear. That means they have no curves applied. And I'm going to read a P2P51. So I'm printing a test form that contains a P2P51 target. And I'm going to drop that in. There you are at the P2P51 before, that means before G7 calibration, linear plate. And just drop that right onto that measurement window. And then you can see that I failed, which is not surprising since this is a linear run. We don't have curves applied to bring us into gray balance. However, when we ran the test form, the press operator brought his ink densities up to the aims that reproduce cyan, magenta, yellow, black, red, green, and blue overprints that are very, very close to the Grackle 2006 data set. That's our aim. So we're passing solid cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, as well as our red, green, and blue overprints. That is the goal on a linear run. And we will export a G7 one-dimensional curve. So we have calibrate functions. I'm not going to show that today, but we would simply export the curves from Curve 4, apply them in the workflow so that our plates are now edited to conform to the grayscale tolerances. So let's go ahead and look at that measurement. So essentially we reran the test form with the P2P51 with the curves applied to the plates. We're going to drop that in as well. So you can see here P2P51 after G7. Drop that into the measurement window. And there we are. We've passed. Now we're going to take a look at a Prestec DI. This is a waterless press. We're imaging plates on the press, hence the word direct imaging or DI. Grab that. And this is after we've already applied the G7 curves from the calibration run, similar to the Manroland. And here we are again past. We're targeting Grackle 2006, SCCA on, that's substrate correction. If we click this little plus button, I can toggle that on and off. Since the paper is not a perfect Grackle neutral paper, which most of the papers that are coated #1 sheets, they aren't going to match Grackle perfectly. So we use SCCA here, and you can see that we're in compliance, and that this S, which stands for substrate, is at 0. If I turn that back off, you can see again that it's now at 3.98 delta E, and the tolerance is 3.0. Again, I'm going to turn that back on. Now let's take a look at a Konica Minolta C6100 Curio press running a coated sheet, and the M1 meaning that it's an M1 data set. So I'm probably going to target Grackle 2013 or one of the data sets for ISO 15339, which are all M1 data sets. There we are. I'll just grab that. Drop it in the window. And here you can see we're passing G7 color space, targeting Grackle 2013, SCCA on, and I'm a pass across the board very, very accurately. I have a few other windows that we can look at here in these tabs. This is just going to evaluate our ink and substrate. This will just evaluate your G7 in depth. So your neutral print density for your black, your CMYK triplets, your delta L, and your delta CH. And then lastly, we're going to take a look at a HP 26500 latex inkjet wide format on a vinyl adhesive substrate, which will probably not be in tolerance to the data set that we're targeting. And we come up and there we go. Just drop it here in the window. And you can see we're passing across the board. Let's just see what it'll do with SCCA off. And I'm just out of tolerance on this substrate. However, with SCCA, I'm compliant. So guys, that's the session. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you got a lot of value out of this very, very key process in controlling color for one press or multiple presses where we're trying to achieve a similar visual appearance and target our specifications and standards for color reproduction.
Well, that's a wrap for this video, everyone. Thanks for watching. We hope you found it useful, and we appreciate your time. Please connect to us at idealliance.org, where you can find content like this video, and we hope you have a wonderful and productive day. Take care.